Looks like a good deck out there in Whanganui. Called Wembley for a reason. Looks like they've stopped using the diesel on the line, so the pitch is the same level throughout. Seasons past they've played their summer six-a-side on the number 1 deck, which would have been to the chagrin of many locals, and they seem to have knocked that on the head, perhaps through advice from Calvert, who's a football man of course, and a farmer, raised on a Highland sheep farm. As Davies looks to put Summerton through here. And Calvert tries to shield it over the byline and manages to do so. Front of the advertising banners there, and shout out to those sponsors. We've got GJ Gardner Homes, of course, looking after Whanganui Athletic, I should say, as well as McDonald's. And when the glare dies down from the beaming sun in Whanganui, I'll be able to tell you what that other one is, but I hazard a guess it's a local architecture firm, or perhaps an accountant. So they're going long here, and Venema cleans up. Venema, of course, under threat of sponsorship from Alex Tamati Tukari Oti Oranga McGregor, but he's looking to go halves if anybody else wants to do the other half. Long ball here, Stuart Hill is active, buoyed by the player sponsorship he picked up through Ryan Electrical, and we thank Liam for that. I'm very much looking forward to the hot water cylinder getting wired up. Decent shower through the winter. Hear the voice of Gisborne Thistle head coach Garrett Blair through the microphone. He'd be the one without the accent. The one with the accent, of course, Tex von Kwiatkowski, the German national who arrived in Whanganui and made a real splash. His son, Tesco, is out there in number 83. And it's a penalty for Thistle here. You'll need to use the rewind function on your YouTube stream to tell me exactly what was going on here. I was staring vacantly at the left-hand corner of the screen and heard the whistle, thanks to the headset that's been placed on me by floor manager Tom as he grins at me through the glass window, and I feel like a goldfish in a bowl. Catch a glimpse of Alan Zarate there, making his first team debut today in central midfield. If anybody's got a program handy and you can tell me who Alan Zarate's player sponsor is, that'd be nice. Batarita calmly slots into Calvert's bottom right corner, and it's a Thistle 1-0 lead away. The boys will be absolutely thrilled. Big fixture today for the lads, obviously, with the departed players coming off a defeat to Havelock North 2 weeks ago at home. And Whanganui in recent weeks have had a renaissance somewhat and find themselves above Thistle on the table. So this is the match essentially for third spot as it is. That's Big Ben Hoyce out on the left-hand side. You won't be missing him, that's for sure. The number 17 for Whanganui Athletic. That's Von Kwiatkowski on the ball now. Himself a former Havelock North Wanderers squad member. Had a little run with them in 2019 in between his athletic stints. Came over from Whanganui City in 2015. That's a corner for Whanganui Athletic. That will be the accent you can hear in the FX microphone of Tesco's dad, Tex. And he's free on the penalty spot. That's Jordan Candish. And Thistle defended in numbers to block that. Cross comes over from the right-hand side. Batarita picks up and looks to clear. But he's cut out well by Ryan Holden. And it's calmed down for a goal kick for Gisborne Thistle. Stuart Hill's long clearance is met by William King, the English national. Not the William King of the New Zealand Youth Choir, of course, for those of you that are wondering which one it is. This guy does his talking with his feet and his head on that occasion. Doesn't like to sing. Mathuri's long again. Davies will look to catch up with this. And the pressure he exerts wins a corner for Thistle. Perhaps that banner's an insurance company. I'll catch a glimpse there maybe. In-swinging corners cleared by Whanganui Athletic, and it's Zarate over the ball. It's a crossover. It's a sharp header by Ollie Davies, and a second for Gisborne Thistle. It's looking like Leo Maisie on starting debut for Gisborne Thistle. Just caught in the headlights there a little bit. Yeah, it's looking like Maisie as he retreats to his position, of course sponsored by the Happy Fruit Company. And giving Thistle a 2-0 lead. Fantastic position for the Jags to be in away from home here. Special good day to viewer Hastings coming in from an undisclosed location there. If only I could hear your voice too, mate. Sitting here comfortably in an air-conditioned studio, taking in the sights. We've got Thistle with a 2-0 lead. As my mind wanders from what's on screen, I can raise my eyes and behold floor manager Tom. What could be better? Locals walking past. The dulcet tones of Tex von Kwiatowski in my eardrum. What a way to spend a Saturday afternoon, as it's another long ball into the area, and Calvert claims that, looking strong there. And it's a fine release. Looking to find Gilmore out on the right hand side who keeps the ball in. And that's King over the ball for Whanganui Athletic. Calvert seeking what looks like Candish out on the left-hand side. That'll be Holden. As Gilmore appears out of nowhere, out of shot there. Of course, just commentating what you can see here. Hoping that it brings you just that small amount of extra joy, being able to know who might be who. Unfortunately, we don't have young Alexander Eaglestone of Havelock North Wanderers watching this week to vet our level of correctness for player names. And it's another Thistle free kick here in an advantageous position. Batarita delivers into the area. It's Summerton with a free header. Can't quite get it headed towards his supporting players in the middle. And it's a goal kick for Whanganui Athletic. Played short there to King. Being around the pressure here. He gets a little touch on it and concedes the corner. And today's neighbourhood pizzeria discount code is the Badgers. I might just shorten that to Badger for anybody who can spot number 12, Sean Stewart, without a doubt the player of the highest credentials on the pitch today. The big local lad. Spent time at US University, at I believe Wheeling Jesuit University. A couple of years there before he went and graced Brockton FC with his presence in the Northwest Counties Division 1 South, which is about 10th division, you'd say, in England, in the English system. And you might hear 10th division and think, oh, that's not that hot, but it's a couple of promotions away from professional football, essentially. So it's a decent level of competition. It looks like him almost at a left centre-back, just beside the Gazelle Summerton. So keep an eye out for that bloke. There's plenty of them. And he's got a bit of pedigree. Holding over the ball now, another Englishman himself had a brief foray into what was reported in the Whanganui Chronicle at the time as professional football with Team Wellington. Of course, that can't be the case because it was technically an amateur league, the NZFC as it was in those days, but he made the Team Wellington squad one year, and good on him. Obviously a bit of ability there, and he's hung around in New Zealand, in Whanganui no less, for the duration of his stay. If I look at my notes that I've had prepared, I noted that there was a number of imports into the squad, and you wonder things like, why would somebody move to Whanganui? Well, there's plenty of them, but as it would be, the bulk of those guys are not on the pitch today or on the sideline, so perhaps they're holidaying back home or something, and it's just not worked out timing-wise. You wouldn't imagine somebody would leave Whanganui after you move there. And when the camera pans to the right, every now and then what you'll see is the back of the head of Whanganui athletic coach Von Kwiatkowski. That's in there in the bottom of the screen. That's where that German accent is coming from. Perched at a high angle, be able to take in what his subordinates are achieving on that hallowed turf. Something could be offside here, but he's got away with it. As the ball trickles out. Long throw there for Whanganui Athletic is only met by McMillan. And Maisie is tackled by Jordan Candish. Von Kwiatkowski over the ball now. McMillan does well to track. Matarita there in support, and Zarate finds Venema in a little bit of space. Heeks, one long. Did just say Heeks. Cross between a hook and a heave, of course. That's Simcox with the throw for Whanganui Athletic. Tidy touch from Holden to get Athletic straight on the attack, but Von Kwiatkowski was not aware on that occasion. Davies nicks one here from Simcox, and just couldn't quite slip Travis White there. Of course, Travis also is starting first team debut in the Federation League for Thistle today, sponsored by the Te Hapara store. He's trained his proverbial off all season, and he's getting his rewards today, and it's Thistle with the 2-0 lead. Strong Brandon Josling, representing the Cancer Society as always. Gets a strong Brandon Josling crossover. This time Summerton's called offside. Calvert strides his way over. Excellent posture, excellent gait. Pumps one long and into the midsection of Jordan Gilmore. course, played his junior football with Castlecliff. That should be one for the train spotters. Played their football locally. Whanganui, of course, unsure of the current status, but in previous seasons has been the home of a rebel league. Not that we would dare mention it, but a place of strong opinions. Guess they flow with the river. An awkward stumble there by could have been William King. So my eyesight fails me, no zoom function. So Stuart Hill has the goal kick. Tidy touch from Macy down for McMillan, who looks to find Somerton, but he can't. Venema gets it straight back long, and Davies holds under pressure from Simcox, looks to nutmeg him, loses possession. It's Von Kwiatkowski on the spin. Land is alert to cut that out. It's Nehana Carl up top and the number 11 for Whanganui Athletic. Von Kwiatkowski over the ball, looks to release Candish down the left-hand side. Cal's called offside and doesn't like it, decides to boot the ball into the mesh fence. Just a score coming in from Viewer Hastings in his undisclosed location, letting us know that it's 1-0 currently to Levin over New Plymouth Rangers. Levin looking to pick up points. Plucky side, of course. Honest side. Whanganui's own Nick Hayward in goal for them, of course, but let's focus on the action out in front of us today. Venema reaches for that and attempts to clear. It's Gilmore who's picked up possession for Simcox, now Holden. Manages to get it through to Candish out on the left, and Big Ben hoists one into the area. Stuart Hill allows it to trickle onto that training area there. Shout out to the changing rooms that you can see at the top right of screen there at Whanganui Athletics Wembley Park home ground. They're not flash, I'll tell you that much. But they've been a place of much joy in the past for Gisborne Thistle, also a place of momentary despair over the years. Here's Gilmore, looking across to the far post, cleared by Josling, and that's Travis White, out on the right. Fixture just sort of meandering along here. I think that's notable, the absence of Josh Smith for Whanganui Athletic. He's missing his experience, 34 these days. Man, that would have played hundreds of games at a very high level. Davies' touch is good, but he's foiled by Simcox. Of course, missing today for Whanganui Athletic is the mailman, Quinn Mailman, the Instagram king of his side with 964 followers. Perhaps he's at home working on that perfect selfie for his 964 followers to enjoy. And also his Instagram apprentice, Josh Ngapeka, also not even on the sheet today. So there won't be any like and sharing from the Whanganui boys today. as they have a free kick in a very good position of their own, and almost certain Von Kwiatkowski will look to have a pop here. Don't know him, but he seems like that kind of guy. You don't wear 83 on your shirt if you're not going to have a go from 25 yards out. Gives us an opportunity to mention our back of shirt sponsor, Aotearoa Labour Hire. You have the need to get a job done, head to the website, alh.nz. He's made a fool out of me, gone short to his mate. No pun intended. And it's a sharp save from Mitchell Stewart-Hill. That's seen Whanganui Athletic with a corner, which will be taken by Jordan Candish. Headed away at the near post by Jimmy the Gazelle Somerton. Travis White's picked it up in hot pursuit, working hard there. Davies is about 3 metres offside, so good thing he didn't get that. That's Hoist going backwards. Dangerous position here for Whanganui Athletic with Candish out on the left, but can't get his crossover. Can't help but notice the car park on the far side of the pitch there. Is that organised, or there's nobody getting out of there until the grey Holden Vectra leaves? Somerton now for Thistle as we pause to buffer. Don't worry, it's still Somerton for Thistle. Heading across the pitch on one of his mazy runs, and it's a sharp save by Calvert. Davies will look to keep that in, and looks like he didn't manage to get it before it crossed the line, which makes a corner. Somerton, a man in demand. The big clubs have come in for them. We won't name names, but they've been knocking, they've been inquiring, and he's knocked them back to stay with the Thistle this season. Year 12 at Gisborne Boys High School, of course. New Zealand under-17 widest squad member, awaiting the next trial. Zarate in the box now, the Argentinian. White's cross to the far post is met by Davies. He'll get another corner for that. And it's all Gisborne Thistle here away. Doesn't look like too much wind about based on that corner flag, and most of the leaves still sitting where they are on the ground, unless that's parade confetti up on the pitch. Davies' corner is met by no one from either side, and Zarate heads off to retrieve it. Looks to win the throw, but it's Athletic breaking now through Nehana Carl. Good recovering tackle from McMillan, looking to fill in for his mate Cullen Sporforth today, who's serving a suspension for 5 yellow cards. He would have liked to have served that last week, but Red Sox Manawatu decided they didn't want to play football in the Federation League this year, so that's cost him another week on the sideline, unfortunately. Anybody from Red Sox managers to come across this coverage, please try to play next time you're entered in a league. If anybody speaks German out there, if they could just interpret that from Von Kwiatkowski, the coach, as opposed to the player, unsure of the accent of Tesco, assuming it's slightly less thick. And that's King ranging forward. He'll be out of position, and Thistle will look to capitalise on this. That's Davies heading away, and a fantastic covering challenge from Matt Bouzard, the former Ellerslie, Miramar Rangers and Waterside Karori player, so he comes with some pedigree there at a New Zealand club level. Gilmore, to his credit, stays up in the challenge from Venema, finds Von Kwiatkowski on the right, whose cross is looking for Candish, and his head is wide across the face of goal. A little bit of a bite back here from Whanganui Athletic, looking threatening on the counter more than anything else. And the man at the very bottom of the screen there, you can see is Scott Burney, his brother Steve Burney, on the bench today, former Lower Hutt City player, but also a trading card master. He's produced a set of commemorative, I guess you could call them, trading cards of Whanganui Athletic players. If there's any cartophiles out there, you can probably get in touch with Steve Burney or his brother Scott, and they'll be happy to tell you how you can get some of those in your possession. Maybe get them graded, put them on Trade Me for a $1 reserve, a couple of shilly bids, see if you can get more than what they're worth. Stuart Hill here, taking his time over the goal kick. Von Kwiatkowski, the coach, implores his troops to step up the intensity as Calvert has what could have been a shot. It's an effective through ball from deep. Von Kwiatkowski, the player, controls well and finds Gilmore, who heads across goal, looks to release on his left. Can't quite get enough purchase on it, and strikes it into what looks like might be the Rezzies standing there in support. Could be Whanganui City Football Club, maybe finished their earlier fixture. Of course, taking the step back this year as the two Whanganui clubs just yo-yo in and out of periods of competition and follow their mates around in various places. Holden gets around McMillan, but not Zarate. Doing well, the two Thistle players there in the holding midfield role. Simcox heads in field to keep possession and finds Gilmore on the right-hand side. Von Kwiatkowski on the ball now. He's, of course, the creator of all things good for Whanganui Athletic. And King's timid cross, if you can call it a cross, finds the arms of Mitchell Stewart-Hill. White release as well here for Somerton, who look to get in front of Kelvin and takes a bit of a bump from what I will assume is Big Sean Stewart. Von Kwiatkowski's through on goal here. Stewart-Hill gets a touch on it. Sharp save, you'd call that, one-on-one. Gilmore goes around Venema, and Batarita's composed reflection finds the arms of Mitchell Stewart-Hill. Brother of cameraman Fletcher Stewart-Hill doing an exceptional job today, keeping up with the action. In a foreign environment, of course. Hopefully the Whanganui locals have looked after him. Josling goes long, has a flick from Somerton. Maisie steps forward to win that header, and Somerton is strong here. Not as strong as Brandon Josling, but still very strong under heavy attention. And it's all a bit loose out there at the moment, from both sides, you could say. As Venema has ages to reach forward. It's King, who seemed to have started further back for Whanganui Athletic, looks to have stepped forward into more of a midfield role now. As could assume they go chasing the game at 2-0 down. Venema manages to keep it in. And it's some tight control here from the home side. King on the ball, moving forward into the attacking third, and it's Candish out there on the left. Has a pop from distance. It's a good block. Looks like Travis White getting inside there and defending, and he's copped that one on the side of the head. On the bench today for Thistle, Andre Riley, Alex Davies, the younger brother of Ollie, and none other than Mark Baple, the good guy of the twins. Not that awful Matt. Happy to have a day off seeing that guy today, I'll tell you. Looking like maybe a drop ball here situation. As we get a close-up of Nahana Carl. Just not happy about something that's going on the pitch. Athletic choose to keep possession as opposed to Thistle knocking it back to them. Perhaps that was negotiated. So we head into the, you call it closing stages of the first half here. It's Gisborne Thistle in the blue for those just joining us, with a 2-0 lead over Whanganui Athletic, the home side. And Josling's throw bounces through, and it's got Somerton on the right-hand side. Strong tackle by Sean Stewart. And it's Carl who's popping out on the right-hand side. Finds Gilmore, who squares for Von Kwiatkowski, who elects to put his head down and try and beat a couple more players, and blaze a cross across goal for a throw-in. White has a slip, and Whanganui Athletic are back in possession. Excellent angled delivery there. Finds Nahana Carl out on the right-hand side. It's Gilmore again, who's receiving a lot of ball. And you'd say it's the home side in the ascendancy at the moment, as we take a brief trip to the moon. Looks like Hoyce out there playing a left back. He's an everywhere man for Whanganui Athletic, the BFG. I mean that in the nicest possible way. He's a huge guy. Also drives a TQ midget. Maybe it's not a TQ midget, it might be a full midget. 74V on the side. Third generation Speedway driver. As Zarate makes himself useful on the defensive end and clears that one away.
And is telling him.
And it's a Whanganui Athletic corner here. There's a couple of ball people are dispatched. Not looking as good as the ones at Childers Road Reserve with the fully sponsored kits. You can see all the names on those. Even Pro Traffic. And we thank them for their support. And we notice what they do for the community at a reasonable rate, keeping places safe. The new supermarket in town's finished now, and thanks to them there were no brawls in the one-way system car park. Nobody had to jostle for position, everybody just waited patiently, the cones were out. Things were good. And now we've got a great new supermarket in Gisborne. And a good punch from Mitchell Stewart. Hill only as far as Ryan Holden. White can't quite get his size 9.5 onto that, but it's out of immediate harm's way. This will just be looking to tighten things up here in the last few minutes. Not that they can hear me. Von Kwiatkowski in space, and it's a, I wouldn't call it a worm burner, I'll call it a worm tickler into the arms of Stuart Hill. Speaking of supermarkets, of course, thanks to Pack and Save for making sure the boys were fed this morning. A couple of snacks as they were on the planes I should say, due to the lack of direct flights to anywhere apart from Auckland or Wellington out of Gisborne. If anybody has a plane that we could borrow, it would be really nice if we could just get on the plane and go to where we want, as opposed to going through Auckland on the way there and on the way back. I'm sure the tank at the domestic departure lounge will be doing all right out of us. Assuming the Happy Fruit Company is one of the suppliers for that. It's a throw-in for Whanganui Athletic here. Of course, formerly known as Whanganui East Athletic, back in their previous Central League days, and held on to that moniker into the mid-2000s. And they began to put down their pegs in the Federation League, you would say. Von Kwiatkowski here on the left. Looks like the ball's gone out of play. Not sure if that's appropriate from Von Kwiatkowski, the coach, talking about lines this early in the day, but maybe he was commenting on how sharp the lines look on the Wembley Park field. Captain Nicholas Land is over to win that one. Big Sean Stewart holds possession, but Holden gives it up. It's won by Zarate. Davies on the burst. To win the corner here, and it's a finance company on that banner. I've seen it. We're going to say it's some sort of Whanganui finance. Impressive focus on the Canon DB36 camera that Fletcher Stewart-Hill has at the end of his arm. And that's White having a go from distance, but it's easy for Calvert, who pumps one long. It's an impressive release. He's got Gilmore there, and Batarita, the 8-year-old, meanders his way over there, just getting used to the growth spurt he's just had. Holden has time to shoot, chooses to shoot at the wire fence. Batarita, of course, sponsored by Mātai, the research facility. If you're ever worried about your scone, give them a shout. Batarita alert there, as well as Zarate. It's jostling now over the ball. Looking to release Travis White on the right. That's cut out by Sean Stewart. Zarate now for Thistle, driving through the midfield. His attempted through ball is collected by Calvert. Then elects for safety as we approach half-time. Nehana Carl with the throw. Picks out Von Kwiatkowski in the middle. Athletic clearance from Zarate. Again, no pun intended. Of course, he plays for Thistle anyway. Josling's throw is back to Stewart-Hill. it's Davies in pursuit. Just found out Bosch is staying at Grandma's tonight, so hope he has a good evening. Wondering where my informant for the other fixtures is. Oh, and Barry finds a penalty in there amongst the confusion, which is excellent timing for the home side and horrific timing for the Jags, who have done ever so well to get a 2-0 lead away. A lot of hard work in those opening stages, good level of intensity, and really would have caught Whanganui Athletic by surprise, but it's Ryan Holden now who has the chance to gain the ascendancy back for Athletic as they head into half-time. Stuart Hill picks the correct direction, but it's Ryan Holden scoring for Whanganui Athletic. And the lead halved for the mathematicians out there. It's now Waikanae top 10, Holiday Park, Gisborne Thistle 2, GJ Gardner Homes, Whanganui Athletic 1 in the 46th minute here at Wembley Park. Thistle will just need to tighten up again here. Going into half-time level would not be a fair reflection of the fixture. But a number of guys who are having their first starts for the season today. The legs may be getting heavy. And Barry has decided to call half-time. And we'll look to break here from the studio and catch you in around 12 to 15 minutes time. Right, and welcome back here to Wembley Park, courtesy of the Whanganui Media Studio at Gladstone Road in Gisborne. Wembley Park, of course, is not in Gisborne, it's in Whanganui. And it's top 10 Holiday Park Gisborne Thistle with a 2-1 lead over GJ Gardner Homes Whanganui Athletic. That's the cameraman, Fletcher Stewart Hill, wandering across the pitch from right to left, looking good, with Waikanae Beach Top 10 Holiday Park on the back of his hoodie. So once the home side emerges, which they are beginning to now from the changing rooms to the right-hand side of the picture, he'll need to get himself up that grandstand and behind this camera so that when the play moves to the ends of the pitch, you can see what's going on. Massive thanks, of course, to Whanganui Media for bringing this coverage to you. It means that anybody anywhere in the world can be watching their mates in the blue or the red doing their thing on a Saturday afternoon. As we mentioned before, both teams with a number of changes today. But it looks like it's going all right for the both of them. Athletic would have been somewhat shocked to be down 2-0 in the somewhat early stages of the first half. They've done well to gather their thoughts, and it's a penalty each. Which leaves us at 2-1. Floor manager Tom's made me a delicious coffee. I would pay $3 for that. And I've popped on a jersey just to make sure we're nice and comfy here in the studio as we await referee Dom Barry, whose penalties tally stands at 2, as previously mentioned, for the day. As we catch a glimpse of Travis White, former Lytton High School student, on this near side now. Thistle, of course, playing from left to right on your screen. Whanganui Athletic playing the other way. And unless there's been a substitution, somebody that you'll see on this left-hand side is Whanganui Athletics' Jordan Candish, otherwise known as JCCK, the Crossbar King, on Facebook. For those that are old enough to still have a Facebook account, of course, anybody under the age of 30 is on Instagram, but those dinosaurs amongst us. Check out the Crossbar King. That's him there with the trendy Alice band, standing next to Big Ben Hoyce, the Speedway midget driver, anything but a midget, of course. It's Calvert looking to go long and catch Thistle unawares, which he's done. Hoyce showing a bit of speed on 2 legs instead of 4 wheels, and it's an early corner for Whanganui Athletic, the home side, who'll be coming out hot. Beneath the bare hillside here in Whanganui. It's the flowing blonde locks of Andre Riley, you can see there warming up, with a YMCA Gisborne on the back of his shirt. An authoritative boot there from, looks like Brandon Josling perhaps Zarate. It's no longer the Brouwer Sporforth Froome's confusion when you're viewing through the monitor. It's the Zarate Josling trick shot. Fresh corner comes in, and it's an equaliser for Whanganui Athletic. Looks like Sean Stewart popping up at the far post there, all 6'3" of them. And it's the opposite start from the previous half, a blessed goal perhaps on the left-hand side. And we're parity on the scoreboard here. Tex von Kwiatkowski, the Whanganui athletic coach, of course, drawn the attention of the Thistle players as that ball's inside the area on the left-hand side. Sounds like it's gone for a goal kick based on what that linesman's doing on the far side. As I was saying, von Kwiatkowski inside the Thistle club rooms proclaimed that Thistle, after their 3-0 home victory in their opening fixture of the season over Whanganui Athletic, were on a cloud of enthusiasm that will soon wane, and 2-0 would have been a pretty sweet scoreline to be up on the return leg of the fixture. But 2-2 is making somewhat of a profit of von Kwiatkowski as the ball is on the right-hand side and possibly gone for a corner. Hazard a guess that Fletcher Stewart-Hill's obviously been abducted at Wembley Park and unable to currently adjust the footage. Calvert finds Nehana Karl out on the left-hand side now. He's popping up everywhere. It's von Kwiatkowski with his back to goal now. Wriggles his way free and gets around the outside of Jocelyn. But you can't fend people, you're not Jonah Lomu. And it's a free kick for Thistle, who need to wrestle some initiative back. I would imagine we see a lot more intensity in this half now that the locals have drawn level and the visitors have spurned their lead. Makes for an entertaining fixture, however, for the neutrals. If there are any neutrals watching, it'd be a difficult position to be a neutral. We're all someone's daughter or someone's son, in the words of John Farnham. And it's a Thistle throw out on the left side, which of course is the far side, which is of course very difficult to see. Plenty of cars in the car park though. A few of them look to have filtered out. And it's a Gisborne Thistle free kick now. Zarate is standing over it and he's got a very nice strike. Might be a little bit wide to get one on goal there. And he's sent that above the crossbar. He's gone for the maximum. Of course, it's the wrong game to be rewarded for that. Looking like a pretty sombre mood here at Wembley Park. A grey day in Whanganui. Blokes will be thinking about summer, what they might be wanting to do, who they might be wanting to visit, where they might want to party in. Of course, no other place than Gisborne for that, once summer comes. The Rhythm and Vines Festival, of course, where you'll find the Thistle boys patrolling the car park, keeping everybody safe. We thank Rhythm and Vines for their support and the opportunity to do the fundraising there, which has helped the guys get across the country so far this season. Davies showing a good little bit of skill there, and it's Zarate now who buys the corner. Gives me another opportunity to polish off the rest of this flat white. It's Travis White who'll take it. Again, no pun intended, but I'll take it. He'll need to be anything but flat for the remainder of the fixture here if Thistle are to get back in front. That ball is stuck in time and space and has found its way over the byline. Calvert goes short this time, a rare occasion, and it's the crossbar king who's standing over the ball. He can hit the crossbar as many times as he likes today. It's gone long for Thistle captain Nicholas Lamb, playing centre-back today. And that's Maisie, who's had a loose touch, and Holden's capitalised. Will be Gilmore on the right there for Whanganui Athletic, but Matarita's clearance preserves the defensive line of Gisborne Thistle. Holden now gets his crossover early, and it's found Von Kwiatkowski, the truck driver, who's put that one over the bar. Stuart Hill has Venema on the left-hand side. Maisie's flick for Davies, looking to get around his man, but on this occasion it's Bouzard who manages to get the ball out of play. Davies reaches underneath the 2017 Subaru Legacy. And Venema's throw for Maisie's flick. And Summerton tries to get amongst, not had a lot of ball today. A couple of touches in the first half, but they'll need to get that pill to the Gazelle, Gisborne Thistle. Zarate is fouled very obviously by Ryan Holden. Not sure what protestation you can give to that. Batarita meanders over to demand that Josling surrenders the ball and lets him kick it with his foot. And it's a dangerous delivery, well communicated by Calvert there, and very obliging from his defender to just duck and allow him through. Gilmore on the right has Carl now, gets it back. And he's got Holden in a dangerous position, but he's gone over the crossbar. Stuart Hill finds his favourite buddy, Dan Venema, out on the left. Still looking for that player sponsor. Hoist over the ball now. A bit of a shimmy. Those hips aren't lying. And the crossbar king manages to collar Hokkaido Hereford's Nicholas Land. Nothing asked, nothing given on that occasion. Perhaps if he was less of a farmer and more of a townie, he might have had a little squeal there and gained himself a free kick. But it's Whanganui now on the other side of the pitch. And the cross came over quickly, but not in the right direction. Stuart Hill manages to prevent it sliding down that embankment onto the number 2 field. And Batarita starts things off from the back for Thistle. Holden's picked off Zarate there. Stuart Hill's let that one run, and Von Kwiatkowski is in a dangerous position. Almost finds the crossbar king, Jordan Cavendish, and it's Holden now with a big block from Zarate. Von Kwiatkowski, the coach, scolds his players, saying they must score in that position. I think there's a lot of credit due to Zarate there for that clearance. Dan Venema now with the throw. A lot of interchange of position here for Whanganui Athletic. As Von Kwiatkowski, the player, pummels that one into the backside of Leo Macy. Finally presented flag by the assistant referee on that far side, and it's another corner for Whanganui Athletic. Precious time, of course, ticking away here. You might suggest that Thistle wouldn't be all that unhappy with a point here, given the wider context of the past couple of weeks. Fortunate clearance there for Batalita. Hoyce finds himself in a little bit of space and gets the ball over with his left foot, but Thistle captain Nick Bland is there to clear as the Gazelle battles away up front. Stuart Hill looks to get things happening quick. He's found the speedy Davies on the left-hand side. He's copping a lot of attention. Kwiatkowski goes deep to turn and find King. It's Gilmore now on the right for Athletic. Looks like Nahana Karl as well, so it's total football here from the German coach using the Dutch system. That's Stewart now. There's Simcox outside of him. Kwiatkowski in the middle. Spins to find the crossbar King, who's offside and ruled with guilt, so chooses to just play it out for a goal kick. Could be the angle, perhaps, presenting a different story than reality there, but looked pretty surprised to not be met with the whistle there. Assuming those umbrellas heading behind the goal mean that it's currently raining in Whanganui. Who'd have thought? Gazelle needs to capitalise here, just lacking a little bit of tenacity on that occasion. Tough job, the lone one up front. And it is Whanganui Athletic with the ascendancy here for sure. An offside flag that time as the billboard is bundled over. Stuart Hill standing over the free kick, the indirect free kick, due to the offside decision. Zalata under heavy attention there as McMillan, who's then clipped and wins a fairly inconsequential free kick. You can see those drops of rain falling down.
Brandon, want it.
As we try and pick up the dialogue between coaching staff and strong Brandon Josling on the FX microphone. And the long free kick is straight into the arms of Calvert. It's Jordan Candish now over the ball. Gilmore on the right now, cuts inside. Looks for the opportunity to get it back on his right foot, which gives Ash McMillan an opportunity to pick it up for Thistle. Von Kwiatkowski rather finds himself in a bit of space for Whanganui Athletic, and he is disconsolate. Unconsolable in spraying that one wide. Not a word from Von Kwiatkowski, the coach. He's picked himself up now though, Von Kwiatkowski, and finds himself over the ball, sends it back out to Hoist to start again, and Candish looks for that crossbar. Instead finding the head of William Anthony King, the Englishman. And it's now a goal kick to Gisborne Thistle. Both teams a little bit tired, both teams carrying squads of 13 today. Of course, no rolling subs or any of that tomfoolery in the Federation League, but one less outfield player than they could be carrying. So it'll be interesting to see what the subs can offer. Summerton, who heads off to retrieve the ball. I imagine he'll be taking the throw, however. King now over the ball, finds Von Kwiatkowski and finds himself on the floor, but it's recovered well by Holden. It's an excellent through ball to find Von Kwiatkowski. The square ball. It's met by Jordan Candish, the crossbar king, but it's only gone out. Not sure what that's about from Von Kwiatkowski, the coach, a minimum 10 goal difference. Perhaps he's still calculating the mathematics of how they might win the league, but you'll be doing well to catch Havelock at this stage, buddy. Surely he's not suggesting that Whanganui could be 10 goals more to the good. It's pretty harsh as Andre Riley makes his way onto the pitch. It's like Brandon Josling taking a rest. Riley's gone to left back and Venema to right back. Riley, of course, making his first appearance of the season for the first team. And a Federation League debut. Hard to miss with those peroxide locks. He won't be sneaking anywhere, that's for sure. Smazy's clattered by Sean Stewart. To his credit, gets up and gets on with it, the former Western Springs junior. Who might have known Logan Tutty, who's absent for Whanganui Athletic today. Maybe looking to get the latest scoop, the journalist. His referee Don Berry tells Ollie Davies to get up and get on with it, which does not bode well for any potential penalty shouts or free kick claims from the visitors. King looks to turn but is met by McMillan. Now if we've got a Thistle throw here, keep an eye on the technique. We don't like to pick up on things, but the technique of Riley, who sends those arms out wide after his throws, and a referee with a lesser knowledge of the rules will be probably calling those. Unfortunately, we've got this awful habit in New Zealand of focusing on a technique of a throw. You can see some window wipers going on those cars on the far side, so it's obviously raining a wee bit. Von Kwiatkowski now for Whanganui Athletic. Gets it out to the left, and Candish takes a bit of a skid but manages to hold possession for Hoyce. King again. Loads it for Matarita instead as the drops fall from the roof of the grandstand, and King clatters Zarate, and it's an instant yellow, which arguably not really required. Not a lot of malice in the challenge, just all timing. Zarate looks to be fine, just a bit of a shock. Old-fashioned English challenge from William Anthony King, number 2 for Whanganui Athletic. Stuart Hill goes long, doesn't manage to find Somerton on this occasion, but it's picked up on by Maisie, who skips a challenge or two. And contrary to my fears, Barry has given the free kick to Thistle. Perhaps he's realised that Davies was pushed rather than fallen. And it's Somerton and Zarate standing over this. Matarita looks to throw his 2 cents in. And it's Somerton, whose strike is dipping and good, but well managed by Calvert, and didn't dither too long on the parry. Clever challenge by Matarita. And Gilmore shows us why he's not too keen to let go on that left foot. Just seen a mobility scooter speed past down Gladstone Road. Jaron Brow's obviously on duty today, normally up front for Thistle, but hopefully he'll catch up with that hooligan. Fairly certain Von Kwiatkowski's just told his team that they're clinically dead, which is an odd piece of feedback, but maybe something that could be a safe word or a set play. So we'll see what unfolds before us. As the crossbar king plays back towards his own crossbar, which Matt Calvert stands in front of and goes long as he does. Finds Holden, now Von Kwiatkowski. McMillan's done well to cut that out. It's Von Kwiatkowski in space here, and McMillan's popped up well on the right-hand side of the pitch to play that one out for a corner. And he's got a boo-boo, so we'll need to break. Davies gets warm. Mitchell Stuart Hill punches well. It's out for Ray Hunter-Carlin. That is a fantastic strike to give his side the lead. The number 11 for Whanganui Athletic. That'll be a shock to the system of the visitors, who now find themselves trailing after being 2-0 up. Very impressive strike there. Can do nothing but applaud that. Riley on the ball now, looks to take some sort of ascendancy, but generally, has to be said, Gisborne teams don't like a wet track. And that's what's being presented in front of them at the moment. Of course, short on some experience today in the Jags. And we'll see what they're made of here, or what they can learn. Quick little scan says currently on the pitch for Thistle no fewer than 5 teenagers. Simcox is the only one for Whanganui Athletic. White's found Somerton there and he's called offside. Unsure what that bloke at the top of the screen was doing, if Somerton was offside, but not to worry. This part of 20 minutes left for the Jags to get some sort of response here. 4-3 away win would be a fantastic last 20 minutes. And the game is long, and Thistle are allowing that long clearance from Calvert. Here's Whanganui Athletics sit deep. And Somerton is called for offside there. Credit to the linesman for letting the play run. Assistant referee, I should say, apologies. And the tails will be up now of the home side. Coming back from 2 goals down, showing a lot of spirit, a lot of resilience. See what the Gisborne Thistle boys can make of that, as White does well to win a challenge. Tries to put Somerton away but can't. Does win his own ball back though. Hoyce looks to play Calvert, White stays in. It's the long clearance from the English goalkeeper. Land does well to outmuscle Von Kwiatkowski, but Holden picks up the header. Gilmore on the right-hand side holds position, travels in field and almost stitches up Holden. It's an awkward one there, and a fourth. With the Pow Pow celebration from the BFG, Benjamin Hoyce, and it looks like Jordan Candish, who's got the last touch on that, an awkward one. Thistle needing to respond here if they're going to take anything from this fixture. Could we see Mark Baple coming on up front? Could it be a change of shorts and socks and a blue shirt on those shoulders? As Macy makes way for Alex Davies, sponsored by Alan Callett Panel and Paint, making his Gisborne Thistle first team debut. Somerton stands over the ball. Thistle's deck is cleared. No substitutions as yet for Whanganui Athletic, but they'll be full of energy after scoring 4 goals on the trot. Thistle now with a proverbial mountain to climb. After such a positive start, looks like their fortunes turned with the rain. Perhaps running out of legs here. Guys that might not have been playing too many minutes. And Whanganui Athletic looking a lot more comfortable now in possession. Looking to keep. Hoyce even around the outside, looking to go all the way. A boisterous local crowd starts to get involved. It's Von Kwiatkowski's time to shine, and a 5th goal for Whanganui Athletic. You could see that unfolding before your eyes. Assuming that the crossbar king got the final touch there. But you can use the rewind function, and it might be a good idea to just rewind to the first 20 minutes rather than the last 20, because it was a lot happier story for the visitors. Tough times here at Wembley Park. As Benjamin Hoyce is substituted. Could be young Cade Knight getting a run here, but at the back's probably more likely to be Steve Burney, the Carterfile. All will be revealed, and it is Steve Burney, the number 4. As Von Kwiatkowski once again, it's a 6th. Potentially a hat-trick for Candish. A yellow card for Stuart Hill for kicking the goalpost out of frustration, and a blown-out scoreline for what was an evenly matched fixture for the first 70 minutes. Thistle now playing for pride. Difficult situation for the young fellows to be heading away in what will now be a jovial crowd, giving them plenty of advice, no doubt. You'd have to be the most optimistic of supporters to think that there's any points available here for Thistle. And it's a bleak day at Wembley Park as opposed to a glorious one. Result matching the weather, you could say. Heads are down, they'll have to pull their socks up here, show what they're made of. And Butter's a momentary lapse of concentration there has seen it go to Gilmore. And a ravenous Whanganui Athletics side now looking for blood. Von Kwiatkowski's found half of those 10 extra goals he was expecting. Maybe he knew something we didn't. Travis White finds himself more in the central position now, looking to create something. McMillan looks to get something off Steve Burney there. It's Riley in a bit of space out on the left, and the life definitely has been sucked out of these visitors. Carl looks for a cheeky one, but it's a touch from the covering defender and a corner for Whanganui Athletic. There's looks like potentially another substitution. Could be Cade Knight entering the fixture there, another teenager for Whanganui Athletic. It's Gilmore coming off. And the Central Football age group representative coming on here. Great opportunity for the young fella to get a run. As anybody watching will know, it takes 20 seconds to score a goal in a game of football, so until there's quick maths, a minute and a bit left. Who knows? Who knows what could happen as Von Kwiatkowski shows a good close control there and a great little through ball there for Jordan Candish, looking to add another one to his tally. Holden has a pop, blocked well by Zarate, and they'll have a free kick there, and McMillan will get himself a yellow card. Fenham is either getting a talking to or making an inquiry here. Calls from the crowd for Steve Burney. to get over the ball. Sounds to be a popular man, Steve Burney, a crowd favourite perhaps. He's not obliged to calls. It's Von Kwiatkowski who stands over it. Surely this time he has a pop. And he does, and it's in. It's a 7th for Whanganui Athletic. Impressive strike. And to come back from 2 goals down and end up with a hatful. A fine performance at home from Whanganui Athletic. Travis White manages to find himself technically offside. We'll see if anything's caught up with that. And this will look to play. Alex Davies looks to get some touches on the ball. Younger brother, of course, of Ollie Davies, also sponsored by Alan Kellett Panel and Paint. Venema looks to get involved there, but it's beaten to the punch there. Stuart Hill comes out to collect. It's been a substitution of cameraman as well. In the bottom of the screen, see Fletcher Stuart Hill. Who knows who holds the gadget? They've come up with some sort of remote control system. Whanganui Athletic, of course, produce a 10-minute highlights package each week, and thanks to Arango Media, they'll be able to do that in high quality. And Batarita looks for Zarate up the pitch, as this will look to take something from this. Stuart Hills found himself in the naughty corner again. Referee Don Barry has mercy on this occasion. So this will look to overcome the shock and take something from the closing stages of this fixture. It's Whanganui Athletic looking for an 8th. Big statement in terms of the league. Again, maybe Von Kwiatkowski, the coach, was onto something. Maybe they've got big plans. If they can beat Havelock North in their return fixture and take some points off Massey, all they need is 2 results in their favour, and they could find themselves at the top of the table come the end of the season. And a performance like this deserves to be at the top end of the table to come back from a deficit and dominate the closing stages of the fixture. Seeing a good bit of zoom here from that mysterious person behind the camera. Nobody on the end of that squared ball. Zarate who gallops away. And crowd favourite Steve Burney finds himself in position, and if he knows what's good for him, he'll have a pop, but he doesn't. Finds Von Kwiatkowski out on the left, who's sold Davies and gone for near post. Von Kwiatkowski, you can hear on the FX microphone, letting his son know what he should have done. Unsure how much that matters with the scoreline looking how it does. And this will be an interesting one for the rest of the league to see. Scoreline such as this. In other news, Hugo Hastings coming through to give us something a little bit more, struggle for words, but interesting to talk about. The winner up 3-1 over New Plymouth Rangers. Nick Hayward, the goalkeeper, scoring the third goal from his hands. One bouncing in. Welcome to the club, Nick. And for those of us still hanging in, I'm assuming that you're all Whanganui athletic supporters, or perhaps the boys at the Thistle club rooms who don't know how to take it off the screencast. Make sure you remember to like and subscribe to the Rangai Media channel so that you get notifications when the Thistle team is playing. If you're an opposition coach, full of scouting opportunities for you. As Cade Knight picks up a yellow card there for having a pop at Andre Riley. As we hurtle towards time added on, I wouldn't imagine it would be a fairly, not masochistic, but cruel referee who's going to find too much today. So the boys will be pretty keen to hit those terrible changing rooms with reasonable showers, to be fair. And if you're just tuning in to see what happened, your eyes don't deceive you. It's an absolute belting. It's turned out for the Gisborne Thistle side. After leading 2-0 early and looking very promising, it's just the legs have run out, or the intensity's been too strong from the home side in front of their home fans. Von Kwiatkowski's proved a massive threat. That's him on the ball now. Essentially playing with his food at the moment and switching that one over. It's Whanganui looking to put an exclamation mark on the fixture here, and they might get that chance now. It's King who's hit that crossbar that belongs to Jordan Candish. And surely not too long to go here at Wembley Park. Gives us a quick opportunity to thank our sponsors, of course, YMCA Gisborne, Rhythm and Vines, Neighbourhood Pizzeria, Pro Traffic, Aotearoa Labour Hire, not to forget New Zealand Community Trust and the Grassroots Trust, as well as Waikanae Beach Top 10 Holiday Park. Thank you for your support. Boys will have their tails between the legs today, but we hope that you can get behind them and help them turn it around and they run into the close of the season. The young fellas will be better for the experience today. Broken their duck, so to speak. They can move on and look forward to the next fixture, which, as my comment app loads, I'll be able to tell you. It should be New Plymouth Rangers at home if my memory serves me correct. which could be a good opportunity to bounce back given their result today, a 3-1 loss to Levin, unless that score's extended further. Rangers also themselves has found themselves on the end of some long scorelines this year, and it almost was Travis White there, getting one of his own. As the injury time does continue against my advice, I'm not sure if the referee's listening. But that next fixture is next Sunday, the 4th of July. Waikanae Beach Top 10 Holiday Park. Gisborne Thistle taking on Peggy Gordon's New Plymouth Rangers. 12 o'clock kickoff at Childers Road Reserve. Thistle will be looking for a bit of dead cat bounce. Somerton will be looking to score a goal that's evaded him. And that's full time here at Wembley Park. Thistle boys looking pretty gutted, but the home side got what they needed. It's a big result and keeps them in touch with Havelock North Wanderers and Massey University at the top of the table. Thanks to Rangai Media for bringing the coverage. I'll be signing up to curl up in front of a fire, exhausting to bring you a result as such, but full credit to Whanganui Athletic for doing the job today. And we look forward to bringing you the coverage from Childers Road Reserve next Sunday. See you then.